and probably is due some, would you not think? It'd be nice to see him actually have an innings here, but hey.
Now, we have some tweet. Ravi Nair says, this innings seems like an interminable wait for the poo sticks to emerge on the other side of the bridge.
Very good.
Nin Bajaj says, I can't find if anyone got to 100 with an overthrow. Found a story with a man named Overthrow who missed 100. I have a feeling that Michael Vaughan got to his first Test 100 from 94 to 100 with a 2+4.
Yeah, I've got a feeling.
Against Pakistan, maybe.
Definitely seen somebody celebrating somewhat sheepishly having picked up 4 overthrows. But Ravi's poo sticks could well be a reference to my rather Eeyore-ish commentary so far on the South African innings. But AB de Villiers is in and immediately shows positive intent by driving the ball, and he's timed that better than de Kock timed any of the deliveries he faced to the man sweeping on the cover boundary, and they're through for 2. So a positive start from AB de Villiers. That's bettered his score in the last match. I think that was right.
Yeah, first bowler. First ever golden duck in an ODI.
He got just 4 against the Lankans. But he now gets another ball that's quite full, and he plays almost exactly the same shot, a little squarer this time, which will allow Shikhar Dhawan to get round to it a little earlier, so it's just a single. And he almost fell on his sword, I think, there, Quinton de Kock.
Yeah, he did. Well, I kind of think, and I also think AB is kind of was a bit hubristic in his first 2 innings in this tournament.
Very full again from Jadeja. In fact, I'd suggest that was a half volley, but it was misread by Faf du Plessis, who pushed the ball back to the keeper instead of driving it, so no run.
I mean, I think he came...
back to the bowl, I should say. A little further up, or a little shorter from Jadeja. He's very good working these little options. And du Plessis goes back, but can't beat the man at short extra. It's the end of the over. A successful one from Jadeja. He has 1 for 25 from 5. South Africa 119 for 2 at the halfway point in the innings.
I just think that, the shot he played against in the last innings against, who's he get the golden duck against? It was Pakistan, wasn't it?
Pakistan.
I mean, the shot he played there, no need to play that shot. It was his first ball, and he just drives a wafty one outside off stump. I mean, it was just a waste of a wicket. And kind of almost getting into his own hype, rather than playing himself, because he is a massively talented batsman, and if he just... Actually, you don't have to go out and run a ball or 2 runs a ball for your first 15 balls, because he knows he can catch up, you know.
So the South African tail is Morris Felusheu, Rabada, Morkel and Tahir. Now I'm calling that as 2 8s, a 10 and 2 11s. Maybe Rabada's a little better than that, I'm not sure. But that certainly looks as weak a tail as we have in the Champions Trophy. So much depends, as ever, on AB de Villiers and on Miller and Duminy to come. As Pandya is in, this is very full outside off stump, and it's driven by AB de Villiers.
And like it.
Yeah, it's the first one, I think, since I've been on the mic. It's one of these.
We're going to have this one.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
I think it was hit into the ground. It wasn't far away from the man at short extra. It was a bump ball. And he must have timed that quite well there, AB de Villiers, because for a bump ball to go to the boundary that quickly meant it must have flown off the bat, as he just rocks back and does what he's done for best part of, over a decade now. Boundary followed by an easy single to third man. Rotates the strike back to his old school chum, Faf du Plessis. Both went to the same school.
I think it's made us competitive. South Africa need 340.
340. Anyway, 340 is a very competitive score.
Yeah, this India side of
320 is one of the best competitive scores.
Yeah, I know, but this India side of one of the best. We chased down Bangladesh's 300 with ease, you know.
Yeah. The good chasing side is India, and Hardik Pandya continues. That's down the leg side, and that's just meat and drink to Faf du Plessis. I hesitate to say I could have hit it for 4, but you can really just lean on those, deflect them, and it goes to the boundary for one of these.
So after 3, the scribes would write 4.
Indeed, it does, and that's poor bowling from Hardik Pandya, who has not distinguished himself with the ball in the match so far. He's bowled a poor opening spell, and he's not getting any better with his second spell.
Nitin Bajaj says, in walks the wielder of the Willow of Carnage. Watch out.
The wielder of the Willow of Carnage, that sounds a bit World of Warcraft. Is that still going, World of Warcraft?
Well, I think they've still got shops.
A thing. Outside off stump, this is hit in the air by Faf du Plessis, who has suddenly woken up. Now he has A.B. de Villiers at the crease, and they only get one, so it's good work on the boundary there, running round by... Is that Boovy there? I think it is Boovy. It's hard to see because he's under mirror shades there, like he's drug dealing in Compton. But
it's the right part of town.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's just been that lift. I mean, de Villiers has got 8 from 4. And as captain, I think he recognised that he needed to go out there and...
He needs to get his head down and get a bloody score.
Yeah, he does, but he also needed to keep the rate up after it had gone quiet from de Kock. That's somewhat unfortunate. It's been given as a wide overhead height. If Hardik Pandya is getting this ball...
That's not a wide.
No, I don't think Hardik Pandya has got the pace to generate a ball overhead height from on this wicket, but it was given by the umpire standing at... it seems to have been given by Alim Dar standing at the bowler's end. He may have got the signal from Paul Rifle. Usually it's given by the square leg umpire. This is short, and that's a help yourself delivery, which de Villiers can only steer to the man at backward point, so he got away with that. This is a terrible over from Hardik Pandya. He has conceded 11 from it already, and I suspect he'll be asked to have a little blow down at third man. Not to have some blow down at third man, but to have a blow at third man.
Take a blow.
It'd be quite nice to have some blow down.
In cricket, you know.
Take a blow?
Have a blow.
Yeah.
As it comes down the wicket, does A.B. de Villiers, and he baseballs that to the man square, sweeping on the cover boundary. At one point, he looked like he was going to straddle it straight back over the bowler's head with the horizontal bat. But he's certainly not going to hang around here as A.B. de Villiers. And he saw him coming, I think, there, did Hardik Pandya, and he dropped the ball in short, but de Villiers still got it to square leg there. And I think A.B. is on a mission here. I think he wants 330, 340, even if... de Kock and du Plessis at one point were looking like they would be more satisfied with 300. The score is 131 for 2, 26 overs gone. Pandya very much the most expensive of the bowlers. He's bowled 6 overs for 40. Ravichandran Ashwin has bowled his 6 overs for 32, but he has a wicket. Jadeja probably the pick of the bowlers, I would suggest. 5 overs, 1 for 25, and the 2 openers kept it tight, but had conditions in their favour. Boovy and Jasprit Bumrah, as this is full, and it's driven by de Villiers to the man at long off, and they walk a single. The camera's picking out Virat because cameras pick out Virat, but also he's probably contemplating a change from Pandya at the opposite end to where we're bowling from now. I'll try and give you the end that we're bowling from in a moment. Run rate over 5 for the first time in this innings. This ball is pushed, and it is into the offside, and there is no run. The bowling is from the pavilion end at Lord, at the Oval, rather than the Vauxhall end. Jadeja very quick in his work round the wicket to the right-handed du Plessis, and this is half stopped by Jadeja and deflected to, I think, Virat running round from short extra to mid-off, and there is no run.
Nitin thinks that South Africa have Pandya's number.
Oh, that ball kicks and turns from Jadeja. Where did that come from? And du Plessis did well to get a bat on that, because that was extraordinary delivery. Nothing has turned the whole match, possibly the whole tournament. Just watch this one go. Bounce, kick. It was missing leg stump until the ball straightened, and it was missing middle and off, or hitting middle and off. But the ball was deflected by the bat. No run.
Was it definitely the bat? We're sure about that.
I think so. This ball goes on the ground a little, or rather just beginning to get a bit of action as Jadeja. That one's shot through a little bit on du Plessis, and he was happy to crouch down and just knock it into the covers. No run, and he punches this ball back to Jadeja. So that's a lovely over from Jadeja, just 1 from it, finishing with 5 dot balls, which is what India needed after the profligate Pandya conceded plenty in the previous over.
Yeah, I was just saying that Nitin was saying that South Africa have Pandya's number. We don't think that Pandya's going to bowl the next over off the last one, but he thinks that Kohli's got to find 4 overs between Jadav and Yuvraj, and maybe himself. Be fun to see Kohli have another roll his arm over again. He also says that ABD's on for a 45-ball 100 today. And in response to an earlier tweet, I think, about the dogs at cricket for the India-Sri Lanka game, AB de Villiers, or at not AB de V 17, has said Jack Russell can keep wicket.
Oh, very good.
There were some dogs and there were some...
Yes. Terriers as well, I think. So that was... rather appropriate. It was a Wesley Terrier rather than a Jack Russell Terrier, but it was picked out. It is Jasprit Bumrah coming back for his middle spell. I think we can be assured of saying that. And this ball is just deflected by de Villiers to third man, and they're through for a single. He's very much the death bowler, so he'll need 3 up his sleeve for the death. But it makes sense now for Virat to turn to his probably gun bowler in this lineup, Jasprit Bumrah, and get a little 3-over spell in the middle just to calm things down as Faf du Plessis takes the fight to the Indians.
I just want to say our computer here is out of fucking fit.
As Bumrah's in again, that's a Yorker, and Faf du Plessis does well to dig that one out. That was Waqar Yunus-like toe crusher, not quite as quick as Waqar, of course, at this ground where he plied his trade for so many years. But he did well to get that out. He was looking to drive it for a while, then realised it was going to hit him in the toes, slid the toes out of the way, and jammed the bat on it, did Faf du Plessis. He got 1 for his troubles. That was a good ball from Bumrah, who does bowl perhaps the best Yorker in world cricket at the moment. This is length, and de Villiers is happy to steer that to deep point.
It's a remarkable stat they've got on the screen at the moment, that between overs 11 and 40 in Bumrah's one-day career so far, his economy rate is 3.9, which is absolutely remarkable.
Yeah.
For any bowler in that period. In the modern day, 3.9 is a fantastic return.
It is tremendous. The South Africans are 135 for 2. We're halfway through the 28th over. Bumrah's in again, and that's length. It's hitting the top of the bat quite hard, and they snatch a quick single to a man who was slightly dawdling. I think it was Shikhar Dhawan. No, it was Jadeja, slightly dawdling at backward point there, perhaps thinking about his bowling rather than his fielding. You've got to be absolutely on your toes 100%. And the throw came in, but he would have been well in. These two do run together particularly well. They've been running quick singles since they were 11 years old, so they're hardly going to be short of practice. De Villiers on 12, and he deflects the ball to third man yet again. He's enjoying that shot, and there's a slightly sprawling stop down there by... do we know who there is? Is that Jadhav down there? It's not Yuvraj, is he?
No, it's Yuvi, yeah.
It's a Yuvi. Oh, there's 2 to Yuvi in the deep.
Well, they try to hide him. He's not been the most agile. He's quite good still close in if he doesn't have to sort of move too far to stop the ball.
He's almost worth having as a slip all the way through, because he concedes so many runs in the field. If he gets a catch or 2 at slip...
Well, they had him at backward point the other day, which is kind of okay.
You can't have that. So 2 to AB de Villiers, who picked his man out there, Yuvi, on the third man boundary. He's picked Yuvi again, although this has gone pretty much straight to him. So they'll walk an easy single. So at the end of that over from Bumrah, 5 singles and a 2, 7 from it without much risk. But at least he wasn't hemorrhaging runs as Pandya was. The South Africans 139 for 2. Yeah, I mean, Yuvi is almost like the kind of old guy you get playing Sunday cricket now, isn't he? I mean, he's almost immobile.
He's only 34.
I know, but he's had health problems.
Yeah, he's had massive health problems. What was the cancer he had?
Was it bowel? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what it was.
I can't remember. But yeah, we're criticising Yuvi here, but perhaps we should just congratulate him for being on the field at all. And of course, he can win games off his own bat. Doesn't seem to bowl as much these days. I always liked Yuvi as a bowler. And that might be a way of hiding him in the field by giving him a bowl. But it's Jadeja who's taken over as the left-arm option for India, and he bowls round the wicket to AB de Villiers, who just punches him to the man sweeping on the cover boundary for another single. And he's into his work again, is Jadeja. This one is length and just touched. And he's out. Surely that's out.
Miles out.
As I was saying earlier on, these two have been stealing singles since they were kids. But has AB de Villiers run himself out? He certainly looks like a man who's run himself out.
What a fucking idiot.
Touched to point, and he didn't really need to do very much, did the point fielder. Simply gather the ball, throw it in. Dhoni broke the stumps. It was Hardik Pandya, one of the better fielders in the India side, and he's out by at least 6 inches. He's got the full dive in as well.
It is a great dive, to be fair to him, but it's a terrible run.
It's a terrible run, especially the score 140 for 2. He's out. He's been given out. AB de Villiers, if that's his swan song to the Champions Trophy, and if that's what he has got into his one-day game as a result of giving up Test cricket, well, AB de Villiers, you might as well play Test cricket, because scores of 4, 0 and 16 are not what we've come to expect from the world's leading white ball batsman over the last 5 or 6 years.
But I presume that was Faf's call, because it was slightly in front.
No, it was his call. No. I think he called that through. He seemed to go straight away. But why the hell he was running? I mean, he literally hit it straight to the man. And he was only short at point. And he said yes.
Yeah, he was well inside the circle. He wasn't on the 30-yard circle. Is it 30 metres, 30 yards?
I mean, it wasn't like it was even like 2 yards to his left. He had to move a little bit. It was straight to him.
Usually when you hit it straight to point, it's the batsman who's hit it. He calls kind of those square of the wicket calls.
Yeah,
we'll have to see.
Maybe so, but, man, I just have to give this to you, I'm afraid.
Fuck off! Just fuck off!
Partly because it was such an idiotic
It was a
call.
terrible run. I mean, there was just nothing in it that suggested
there wasn't anything. There's no point in running that.
It was straight to the fielder. There was nothing in it that said, maybe there's some space there that they can exploit. There was always going to be a run out.
Yeah, you just think that you'd look at that field and you'd say one of the places that isn't a single is a dab that goes absolutely square, or just a touch that goes absolutely square, because the man is close in. He's throwing it over the stumps. Dhoni again did well. He's not using the modern technique of standing in front of the wicket and bringing the gloves back. He stands behind the wicket to give himself a better chance of gathering the ball. He had the bails off swiftly, and the South Africa are 140 for 3. Their run rate is less than 5, and all that dawdling from Quinton de Kock is beginning to look expensive.
It's a bad run when, it was a good piece of fielding. It wasn't an above-average piece of fielding. I mean, you would expect to run
straight to him. All he had to do was throw it back in.
Over the wicket is Jadeja to the left-handed David Miller. He's a batsman I very much like, and I know he has some admirers here at Guerrilla Cricket.
Batted very well last time out.
He's got 21 and a half overs to bat here, and he steered them through to the close, didn't he, last time? He'll be looking to do so again here. He comes down the track and just helps himself to an easy single into the mid-wicket. I mean, maybe the South Africans are thinking that there's that this wicket is slow because new batsmen have come in and they've all come down the wicket, and we're seeing replays here. It's just a bad run, badly executed. Dhoni knows he's got his man.
Done that before, AB, as well.
Yeah,
I've seen do it several times.
This ball is punched to wide, long on, and another single is taken by Faf.
Can we have a jingle for Mr. Miller?
Next is a real life wife, David Miller. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Suffer for five. He will bat left, ball right, and score runs all day.
As he just knocks the ball to the man at short mid-wicket, who is Virat, no run.
David Miller, qu'est-ce que c'est?
But no, I think he's been sold down the river by Faf a bit. I think Faf's played it straight into the point fielder. He's run. And
this is a bloody no then.
To it, but he should have said no.
Yeah.
Back off, just back off!
So Faf, in terms of AB de Villiers' innings there, was a bit of a psycho killer.
It was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I was thinking about how good your impression was of the jingle, and then I thought, well, obviously.
Yeah, well,
it's playing into your strong suit.
Yeah, it's playing definitely into my strong suit, yeah.
We have a change in the old man and not so old man on the mic at the end of this over. 30 overs will have been completed at the end of that.
Instructions, Hendo, instructions. My brain. I've been on this show since we've. Yeah. Okie dokie. I've done every day of this tournament. I'm starting to go a bit cricket crazy.
Ashwin is in, and this is edged. It would have been caught by slip. There's another bag. Well,
it is another run out.
There's a run out. 2 men in the pitch.
No! no, what happened?
It is a tribute to Donald and Klusner. It is a tribute to Donald and Klusner.
They tried to throw it at the keeper's end. It ended up going to the bowling end, but by that time, one of the South African batsmen had returned. They're now trying to figure out who is out.
The batsmen have called for a review here to see who's out, I think.
Oh my word, that's comical gold.
Alim Dar has called for a review to see who's out. Have the batsmen called for a review because they think the wicket wasn't broken properly? Or?
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, he wasn't even in the frame.
Oh, they're both together. They're both at the same end. It is Klusner and Donald. It is Klusner and Donald, and I think
Miller's out. I think.
No, I think
Miller's in. Miller's the first.
Miller's bat.
Miller's first across the line.
So that's Miller. I thought that was.
That's fucking genius.
This is a clip that will launch 1,000 YouTube hits or 1,000,000 YouTube hits because both batsmen are flat out running for the same end, and MS Dhoni is looking there. He's pointing because they need to get the bails off at the bowler's end. And no, it's Miller who will be out because it was Faf who was diving in. It is Miller who is out. Well, if Faf sold his captain down the river, probably. He definitely sold Miller down the river.
That also deserves it.
Fuck off! Just fuck off!
What's going on?
Faf's having a nightmare.
I dare we use the word? 5 letters beginning with C, ended in E.
Yeah, I'd happily use the word. I mean, if you can't call this a choke, I get the point that we don't call it for everything the South Africans do wrong, but this is a nightmare.
It's your big chance. Don't blow it. You're probably going to blow it.
I mean, that's a disaster.
Faf's on 28 with a scrambled brain.
28 for 2, Faf.
Ashwin gets one on leg stump, and Faf doesn't take a single where there was a very long single to the man diving at mid-wicket there. At backward square, but they didn't take it. We're seeing it again. Oh, they're both turned round. They go to either side of the wicket. It's hilarious. As Faf does get a single this time to, I think that's Ashwin running around. No, it's not Ashwin because Ashwin's bowling. Running around. It's just too funny.
That is the worst over of cricket I've ever seen from any team in a major tournament.
He really needs. If they're going to get anything out of this, he really needs to take an over out, fucking clear his head because I mean they've still got potential here. I mean it's only 20 overs to go. They've got batsmen who can score runs. They can still get a score.
JP Dummeny's on strike and he's not run out.
Oh yes, he might be. Oh, mayhem! It's absolute mayhem.
He just touched that into the offside, did Dummeny, and Faf called him through, and Faf was diving. I think there was always one there. Was there one there to a sprawling Virat? I think there was, but it's all the fun of the fair. It's absolute chaos. We need the circus music. We need the Benny Hill music.
Oh, yeah.
I'll need to get off the mic here because my heart rate's about 187 here. As Faf du Plessis is on 29 for 2 as the Bear points out. Ravichandran bowled a leg break. Ravichandran bowled a leg break there. He doesn't really need to do anything silly. The South Africans are providing all the silliness. That ball was going down leg side. It was just deflected. An extraordinary 20 minutes or so of cricket has taken place. The South Africans are 145 for 4 after 30 overs. Dummeny has 1. Faf du Plessis has 30 for 2. I'm going off the mic to calm down.
You do that. Yeah, we haven't got Yakety Sax, unfortunately. I might have to get that off. Now, Shazad Khan says on Facebook, you think South Africa is out of the race? No. I mean, this is 50 over cricket. They've still got 6 batsmen left. They've got a couple. They can't afford to lose more than 2 wickets, I'd say, until. They can't be more than 2 wickets down for the next 15 overs, 16 overs, and even then they can still get a big score. I mean, there's some biffers in there. Du Plessis can get large. Morris can certainly go large. Dummeny has played. I mean, I don't rate Dummeny at all, as everyone knows on this show.
Holy run-out Batman.
Yeah.
Ravi Jadeja continuing, pushed up too long, off by Faf du Plessis. The first one is sort of...
No, it's not.
Sort of normal.
Not.
It's a suicidal run.
It's a very South African run-out. I mean, he hit it straight to the player, the first one, A.B. de Villiers. I mean, it's not even... You know the classic where we'll run, it's 3 yards to his right, he's got to take 2 steps, pick it up and throw it in. That wasn't even that. He hit it straight to the player who wasn't on the edge of the circle.
That's a good appeal. Dominic's gone down into a lap sweep. He's reviewed it immediately. The only way this can save him if he's got slightly outside the line. It was a very full ball from Jadeja, speared into the off stump. Dominic's gone down into a lap sweep, has played right over the top of the ball. It's crashed into the pad. It's certainly hitting the stumps.
Well,
has Dominic got a bottom edge? Has it pitched outside the line? It's certainly not a no ball.
I can only assume he's got an under edge if he's reviewed it that quickly, or doing so much deep shit that he thinks he has to.
Certainly not a no ball. Jadeja doing that classic thing where the toe comes down first, but the heel's behind the line. Has he? It's come off the face of the bat, I think, onto the pad.
I think it's come off the glove or the bat, yeah.
It was an instant review from JP Duminy. The bat's a long way out in front of the pad. Yeah, it's come off the
finger.
It sort of rolled under the onside of the bat and then hit the glove. So, yeah, good, sensible review from JP Duminy.
And while they're deciding on this, we're way behind. So Neem Bataj says, in walks in Miller the Marauder. Sad.
Keep going. We must be way behind.
Mog says, I think at this point we pause for a moment and reflect on the fact that Bangladesh got through and Australia did not. Andy and Brum says, choke, chokety choke. Smoody says, once again, Twitter has it right, and the image says, what's happening?
Yeah.
Evil Scooter says, South Africa, never change. Grubby says, the wicket is down. Nimbazaj says, in walks Duminy Destroyer. I'm jinxing them enough, sir.
Well, it's not out. Duminy comes down the track and meets this one in the full, clips up to long on. Cricketing normality is briefly restored.
Can someone bring me a beer, please?
Man Yang says, LOL. Jonah says, what the clucking bell is going on? Went to clean my teeth and it's carnage. Log says, this is some dead set tragicomic stuff. Nestle Boy says, as much mayhem and confusion as is in UK politics right now.
Round the wicket comes Ravi Jadeja, slapped to cover by du Plessis, who is 31 and has taken 2 wickets.
There's still time to get a decent score on the board, and they have to be careful about it. It probably reduces their target a little bit, but
back of a length and pushed off the back foot by du Plessis. India on fire in the field. Kohli's come at least 10 yards there to steal that from Jadeja. They weren't going to take the single there anyway, surely. Kohli's been all over the place today. This one's tossed up outside off and pushed through the gap. A decent pickup from Hardik Pandya at point, but even South Africa's running isn't bad enough for them to be in trouble there. After 31, South Africa 148 for 4, 2 self-inflicted.
What is the malted liquor? What gets you drunker quicker? What comes in bottles or in cans? Beer.
Yes,
Can't
please.
get enough of it. How we really
Yes,
love it.
please.
Makes me think I'm a man.
Yes, please.
Kiss and hug it.
I don't know if they'll actually answer that call.
Ravi Nair says, a 5-letter C word starting with C, ending with E to describe the South African innings. Crime, sliding down a chute. Anybody think of anything better? Somebody says a crone. He says, that's too many characters. He says, that's too many characters. 1 per asterisk only, no obelisks allowed. Mog says, a terrible series of events. South Africa over the last couple of overs, or May's election campaign.
Yeah, May's election campaign.
Paul Dennis says, crepe, flat as a pancake. Dave Wood says, mainstream media reporting the Safas are in disarray. Fake news, sad.
Yeah.
And Woy Woy Palma Broad says, afternoon, this is very entertaining stuff with the South African Indians.
After being the catalyst for an absolute carnage in the last over, Ashwin's been taken off. They've got Seam back on, and A.B. de Villiers is contemplating life, the universe, and everything.
Do you think he'll change his mind and come back and play the Test series?
No.
I think he's looking for a new religion to convert to.
Yeah,
we do have a jingle for the new bowler, by the way.
Do we?
Yes, we do. I'm surprised, actually, they didn't keep Ashwin on and just try and strangle the life out of this.
They'll strangle it themselves.
Yeah, we do indeed. It's this man.
He's a hard man,
Defended into the offside. There is no run.
and I've been working like a mob. He is Hardik Pandya. He's won awards for the best lob. But it comes down to the pitch, and if it isn't a pitch, we're gonna need his bowling.
The Cameron have done very well to pick out 2 South African fans amongst the sea of of fist-pumping, blue-shirted people. The South African flag is flying high, even if their team aren't. In comes Hardik Pandya, right arm over the wicket, bowls, bouncer, and Du Plessis lets that one go. I think that was signal that a wide on the signal from Paul Rifle. A little harsh, possibly.
Finishing that Woy Palm abroad tweet, he says he's on WhatsApp with South African Indians. They have no idea what's happening. They're just drinking.
Yeah, I think that's the only way out of this. I mean, that was one of the most brain-dead overs I've ever seen from any team ever.
I mean, the run-out, as I said, the run-out of AB de Villiers was... should just never have happened. I've seen him do that before, it's got to be said.
Back of the length into the pads, and Du Plessis works this one around the corner. Will they come back? No, they're walking the slowest one you've ever seen walked. Yeah, I was saying in the green room, there's the two fastest cricketers in the world are in second AB de Villiers, and in first the AB de Villiers and AB de Villiers' head. He does this a lot for a guy who's so quick.
He does. I've seen him. He does it in test matches as well. It's like he's constantly wants to take the single to put pressure on the field. Sometimes he just gets over ambitious. One would say.
In the 2015 World Cup, he got run out against India.
Yes, he did.
Run out from the boundary. Hardik Pandya tossing the ball to himself, comes in, continuing over the wicket to the left-handed JP Duminy, who on the back foot clips into the mid-wicket region. I think if Pandya had picked that up running to mid-wicket, there might have been in with a shout of another run-out, but it was misfielded, and Duminy just about makes it down the other end. He moves to 3.
And the next one... Well, to be fair, Du Plessis should have actually gone, because the throw was always coming into the end that Miller was going to. That's why Miller called it. Faf just got discombobulated in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, his
decided to turn back. Shouldn't have done.
His GPS suffered a catastrophic technical failure, and it all got a bit Donald and Klusner all of a sudden. Yes. Back of the length and pushed off the back foot by Du Plessis to cover. There is no run.
Speaking of, Ravi Naidu says, watching India versus South Africa match on Guerrilla Cricket, they're having a laugh, playing at a choking jingle and circus music a la Donald Klusner-like farce.
Is that Ravi Naidu?
Yes.
And welcome new Ravi.
Indeed, Ravi, hello.
The expression on AB de Villiers' face has not got any less contemplative in the last over or so. Last ball of the 32nd over, in comes Hardik Pandya, bowls, again straying onto the pads, but clipped around the corner for a single. A man from long leg is in very, very quickly. Kedar Jadhav, I think that is on the long leg boundary. After 32 overs, South Africa are 152 for 4.
Trosan Marcus says, South Africa are called the cholera for a reason, even as an Indian. It's sad to see those faces. Daft Penguin says, well, this is becoming farcical. At this point, the ball could sprout wings, and it wouldn't be the biggest talking point. Mogg says, let us not forget that South Africa did once win a Commonwealth Games gold medal. Paul Kemp says, no choke jokes here. The last couple of ICCs in England, only one team has choked in the final, so I am not tempting fate. Tim Everingham says,
very true.
So I'm guessing I missed something. Yes, you did. Ben Ingham says, South Africa in the ICC tournament. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And Sally says, and that is why I have never rated FAF. Cricket is a team game. # self-interested.
Can I just send out a request to the Twitter sphere? Can someone gifify the Miller run out, please? Where both batsmen are diving for the wrong end.
Neetan Bajaj has just sent us a still image that will live on in posterity. Wowza run out, and it is both of them trying to get back first.
Yeah, can we retweet that, please? Jadeja continuing 1 for 32 off his 8. Back to classic Jadeja strangling form, really. And this is pushed up to long off by Faf du Plessis, moves to 35. The oval is looking absolutely glorious.
It is. It's a good-looking day. Well, Faf has to... if he's going to save anything, he's got to get himself a big score here, isn't he? And put South Africa back in it. I want to see a game. I want him to get 300 still.
This one is speared into middle of the leg. Duminy flicks to mid-wicket. There is no run.
Or at least 280, 290.
Yeah, I mean, they're 153 with 17 and a half overs to go, as this one is pushed again off the back foot to mid-wicket. There is no run. Short mid-wicket hasn't moved. There's been one in constantly for this entire innings. Jadeja bowls that one a little bit slower outside off and nicely angled by JP Duminy. There is a man at sort of backward point, comes short third man, but he's well back on the edge of the circle, so there's an easy single. Yeah, I think they could get up to, if you double at 32, they could get 300.
Yeah, they could. Still, it's going to be a lot of effort.
This one is bowled from wide on the crease by Jadeja around the wicket, and it's an easy push up to mid-off by Faf du Plessis.
I mean, Jadeja's only got one left. They've got to go back to the seam bowlers.
Well,
Ashwin's got... No, he hasn't got that many left. He's bowled 5, 6. There's probably 5 overs, 6 overs left of spin.
Yeah, and then they'll go back to Bhuvi and Bumrah.
Yeah.
And this one's outside off stump. And Jadeja, I think, was working on something there, because he put his hands to his head. Maybe he was trying to get Duminy sliding forward and beating him on the outside edge and a stumping, but no, he opens the face, pushes to the short third man for a single. 33 overs gone. South Africa 156 for 4.
Juliet Clancy says, I tune in and I hear my favorite word used, discombobulated. And she says, the oval always looks glorious.
Yeah, it's a glorious ground. Much my favourite ground in London.
And now we know what Yates' fault really means. That's what I say.
What's that?
I said, now we know what Yates' fault really means. I'd just be happy if they make it to 50, but I think those dresses are well safe in the closet this weekend.
Yeah, you never know. Funny things have happened. This is what it's out. I mean, I'd say that. I mean, I have no particular favouritism in this game. I just think it's a fascinating 2 big hitters slogging it out for one place.
Pandya continuing. There is a man in a sort of wide slipper. This is pushed to Jadeja. Jet heel running in from backward point. There is no run.
And I probably laughed just as much as India had such a brain fade in their innings as well. But look, objectively, South Africa have got to clear their heads and go, well, we've still got 6 wickets left. We've probably got 3 batsmen who can get us to a half decent score and a couple of biffers at the end. And if we keep our heads down in this modern era, we should still be looking at 300.
In comes Pandya, bowls outside off stump. Duminy on the back foot, guys this one quite nicely down to third man, picks up a single. He's doing the right thing, just working some singles around, playing himself in.
Ouch. Evil Scootus has pointed out that the ICC account is throwing shade at them with the image of them both running together, and it says, that's not how it's meant to work, guys.
That's one of those you are the umpire things, isn't it? Trying to determine which one's out. There's a famous one from a West Indies ODI. It's not even ODI, I think it might be a test match from a few years ago of Chanderpaul and Runako Morton running for the same end. Chanderpaul, in classic Chanderpaul style, puts in a little last spurt to get there just ahead of Morton so that he's not the one running to the wrong end. Du Plessis, a couple of bat taps, picks up that bat, the back lift pointing towards pretty much a backward point. In comes Hardik Pandya. Back of the length. It was a slower ball from Hardik Pandya. Du Plessis didn't read it, threw the shot too early, trying to crash it through the covers, gets an inside edge onto the stumps, and Faf du Plessis has done negative credit for South Africa. Yeah, it was an off cutter, really a fast off break from Hardik Pandya. It came in a little bit, and Du Plessis was drawn into the shot. Great piece of bowling from Hardik Pandya. His variation has worked, and 36 off 50, and affecting 2 ridiculous runouts. Fair to say, Faf hasn't had a great day.
No. Dr. Dan's just done a sketch of Hardik Pandya flying live that we've retweeted. That goes very well with that. Hugh Lloyd says, can't listen to Guerrilla Cricket yet, but I can only presume that the choke jingle is getting some of the hammer today.
Are we out of beer?
We're out of beer. I was just going to get myself a beer, and everyone in there's drunk my beer.
And Captain Mike Yates sends the image of that run out that's with the titles that says, don't you understand what run you bell end means?
It's all...
I mean... They were both running, and they were both bell ends.
Yeah, they were at the wrong end.
Who's going to get there first?
Yeah,
well, it means...
you can't both run to the bell end, as it were.
Next man in will be this man.
Because it's Chris Morris. Because it's Chris Morris. Because it's Chris Morris. And it's coming up now.
At the third time of asking, we finally got a decent jingle for Chris Morris.
Yep. Captain Mike Yates
I quite like it. It's Chris Morris time.
Captain Mike Yates says, I always think of Ken Dodd when I hear the word discombobulated. Neen Bazaj says, that South African batting lineup is relentless. You get Du Plessis and you have to deal with Chris the Crucifier. Stop trying to jinx them. I'm doing it well enough, sir. You can lay off the jinx. But the fact that I have come here and stated that I want South Africa to win is enough for them to go. I'm surprised they're not gone already. And I actually am a fan. I'm not trying to jinx them. Yates' fault is really a thing. Check the hashtag. You'll find out.
The reason I don't like the Do They Know It's Chris Morris time because I hate that Band-Aid song.
Yeah, so do I, but it's quite a good use of it.
And Ben Ingham has asked Dr. Dan if he can have a go at Pfaff and Miller both at the same end diving. His sketches.
That'd be a bestseller, Dan.
I know, right? We'd have to get sort of special commemorative prints made.
Yeah.
Juliet Clancy says, choke. And Raj Laganathan says, I told you earlier, Za suck on the big stage. You were saying 350, now 250 is a challenge.
Yeah,
250 is not a challenge from here if they keep wickets in hand.
If they don't do anything stupid, that's a big if.
Come on, they'll score 100 in 14 overs.
I'm just hoping they make it to 50 overs. I don't care if they have to have maidens galore. Just make it across the line.
If they can sneak it to 300, we've got a game. And Morris is seriously powerful.
Yeah, he is, but yeah, it relies on not making a mistake in that time as well, doesn't it?
This is full from Hardik Pandya. Morris drives his first ball out to cover. There is no run. The last couple of games, Morris has, for some reason, started with a lap sweep, which, given that he's 6'7" and can hit the ball over any stadium in the world, it seems a bit of a waste. Du Plessis really was suckered into that by Pandya. He really was just threw the shot way too early. It's a nice bit of bowling, but Du Plessis completely lost his shape on the shot and ended up crouched down at the crease. This one gets a bit of bounce from Pandya, slippery-ish at 84 miles an hour. Gets that one to bounce up to Chris Morris's ribcage, which is no mean feat. Pushed out to point, there is no run.
Having gone very high on South Africa's runs, I've decided to now go extraordinary low up on under 222.
Really?
At 11-2. Well, 11-2 is good odds. I mean, there's 70 wickets, and the way they're batting at the moment, I'm going to have a complete brave fade. I mean, Duminy isn't the greatest batsman in the world, and then the tail end have to get 70 runs.
This one is into the hips of Chris Morris. He just works this one around the corner. Long leg is in quickly, but not quickly enough to prevent them coming back for two. Success for Hardik Pandya in his 8th over. He's gone for 147 off his 8 after 34. South Africa 159 for 5.
Mogg says we should probably just let South Africa forfeit this to avoid further embarrassment. Neem Bazaj says 250 is well on. Rabada the Rapacious is up next. I swear you're putting too much effort into this, sir. You are putting far too much effort. Ravi Nair says Hall & Oates for Chris Morris does not compute. He needs the Flintstones, the B-52s or some such. Raj Laganathan says Pfaff was faffing.
Just a bit.
Just a tad.
Indeed.
So what have we got? Bhuvi and Bumrah have got 5 left each. Ashwin's got 3 left. Pandya's got 2 left. Jadeja's got 1 left. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6.
And I don't think...
they don't need a 5th bowler.
As I say, I don't think Rabada is the next batter either.
No, it's Fekru Kwayo. Jadeja starting his last, 1 for 36 off his 9. Bowled very well today after being smashed around by...
Oh, my word!
Another run out? It's been pushed back to him. It was very full by Jopi Duminy. Pushed it back to Jadeja. And Jadeja's quite cleverly backhanded this back onto the stumps. I don't think they're even going upstairs, I don't think... pistol Paul rifles.
No,
just,
he did. I think
putting the stumps back together, but no one seems particularly interested.
He sent it up.
Yeah,
I think he sent it out.
Has Morris been run out backing up? Oh, he's just about got back. He's only just got back. It was good work from Jadeja, just funneling that one back onto the stumps in Sonny Bill Williamson style. But Morris is back. So it goes down in the book as just a dot ball.
Renee Kita says, every time Knackle says 300, South Africa lose a wicket.
Is this sort of the reverse Tinkerbell?
Yeah.
Every time an angel gets its wings. In comes Jadeja over the wicket to Duminy, who's caught on the crease and just pushes this one to the man at short third man who fields. He flying one way, his hat flying the other. I assume that was Ashwin there at short third man. In comes Jadeja, a beard flowing devilishly in the wind, and this one is clipped, beats the man coming around from short mid-wicket, and it's easy single up to short long on. What are we seeing here? We're seeing a supercut of Pfaff dragging the ball back onto the stump. So he was bowled by Hassan Ali dragging on against Pakistan, and a similar thing. He is quite choppy outside on the slightly angled bat, and again that sort of slower ball. So it was good planning and good execution by Hardik Pandya. There is a slip in for Morris, who tries to crash this one through the offside. He's beaten the dive of the man at short extra. I think that's Virat Kohli. But Shikhar Dhawan is out there on the cover boundary and flings it back in, just a single to big Chris Morris. 161.45. In comes Ravi Jadeja. 2 balls left of his spell. Was widest on the crease. Into the pad. JP Duminy sliding down leg. Even Jadeja's not appealing for that one, but there is no run. It wasn't the one that Hassan Ali got
tailed in a fraction.
Yeah, that wasn't even a slower ball. This was a genuine, almost off break from Pandya. Jadeja, the last ball of his spell, is pushed comfortably out to cover. Yuvraj gets the throw in quickly, but there was always a single there. Yuvraj used to be a very fine fielder in his younger days, but not so much. But a very good spell from Jadeja. 1 for 39 off his 10 has really helped India create the pressure which caused that South Africa brain explosion a few overs ago. After 35, South Africa 162 for 5.
Evil Scooter says, better yet, make a t-shirt version of a Dan Diaper sketch of that run out. Sally has posted a GIF that Evil Scooter posted first of a bunch of people waiting at a red light when somebody tries to run the green, and just a multi-car pile-up to use to describe South Africa. Anitan Bazaj says, Liz, pardon me, but I was seriously overconfident for the India versus Sri Lanka game, and now I'm doing my penance. #sorry. I promise you, though, just Google #Yates fault, and you'll see how many times my husband and I have screwed things up.
I suspect the way this is going to go is that Pandya and Ashwin will bowl out till 40, and then Bhuvi and Bumrah will bowl the last 10. In comes Hardik Pandya. He has 1 for 47 off his 8, beats Duminy on the outside edge. The ball didn't really do anything, and really neither did JP Duminy, just hanging the bat outside the line of his body. A really limp and nondescript shot. Mercifully for him, he missed it by some distance. Through to Dhoni, there is no run. Rohit Sharma looking, trying his best to look nonchalant as slip, arms folded. That's some 2 very, very laid-back customers behind the stumps for India with the laconic MS Dhoni. There is a deep point as well as a sweep on the leg side. Duminy with trying to angle the bat into the leg side, but was slightly cramped for room and could only drive it back to Hardik Pandya. There is no run. He stalks back to his mark. A couple of chains are jangling. Keep going with the tweets we've got of me.
Andy Redfern says, England have won the Under-20 Football World Cup. The Corbyn effect.
It's coming.
Daft Penguin says, football final update. England win despite a latish penalty for Venezuela. Saved brilliantly. England are the champions.
Oh, saved the penalty. Pushed down the ground by JP Duminy. I think Pandya got a toe on that to take some of the pace off. It wasn't that far away from the stumps at the non-striker's end. But as it happened, I think Pandya has done quite well there to save 3. It was fielded at mid-off, and they go through for just the single. Seeing this again, Pandya, he dropped a toughish caught and bowled earlier going against his own momentum, but I think he did just get a toe end on that one to deflect it past the stumps. The India fans in the ornamental turbans are going in for some dancing, and some Morris dancing there in the crowd.
Some Chris Morris dancing?
Indeed. He is pretty much a maypole.
Yeah, he is. But if he could run his singles, not just go, I've got a single and walk it so he doesn't get run out like he was in the first match, that would be great.
That's true. That was a good throw, actually, from Imran Tahir. Back of a length into the leg side and clipped around the corner. Jadeja field at long leg. There is no run. Oh, no, wait. That was against Pakistani was run out, wasn't he?
No, that was Sri Lanka.
Okay, yeah, it was against Sri Lanka, sorry, yes. I don't know who threw that. It was Taranga, I think, picked up and threw down the stumps at the non-striker's end.
It was an amazing throw. It was amazing that he got it. It would have been even more amazing if he had actually been running toward the other side, so it could have looked close. It would have been really festive.
If Morris dives, he can dive from halfway down the pitch and probably make his ground.
But he was just walking.
We saw a shot on the balcony of David Miller looking almost teary-eyed there.
Yeah, so does Quinton de Kock.
Quinton de Kock always looks like he's about to cry.
Yeah, that's true.
Outside off stump and guided down to third man for a single by JP Duminy. He moves to 10 off 19 balls. Just working the ball around. I think he'll just be plodding along, try and plod along with a few singles and set the platform for Morris to do some biffing. Feliquet and Rabada can also give it a biff down the order. But you wouldn't necessarily trust them to bat for more than about 5 overs.
Exactly, that's the problem, isn't it?
Hashim Amla looking as close to upset as anyone's ever seen him, with quite a natty pair of sunglasses there. We can talk about the fashion senses of the South African cricketers because Morris backed away as Pandya was going in. So what have we got? We've got a short third man, a backward point, a man on the point boundary, cover mid-off, mid-on. man back on the square leg boundary, a short mid-wicket. Full from Hardik Pandya and good Yorker there, and clipped up to short mid-wicket, just dug out by Chris Morris. Pandya 1 for 50 off his nines, bowled pretty well today, particularly in his second spell after 36. South Africa 156 for 5.
Mog says you better cue up those Filiqueo jingles now. And I have apologized to Neetan Bajaj in case I am horribly mispronouncing his name, because I am so tongue-tied at how stunningly bad this has gone. And he has given me reprieve by saying, not at all, you're doing fine, it's all good. I genuinely think South Africa will make a fight of this. I would love it if we actually had a nail-biter. That's what I was hoping for. I don't hate India as a team by any means.
No.
I was just wanted excitement, and I actually was throwing my hat in the ring beside somebody.
Oh, interesting. Kohli's going for the kill here, because they brought back one of the guys who I assume will be bowling at the death early on, I think, trying to wrap this up in double quick time.
It's the right thing to do, I think. When you've got a team this far down and in disarray, you might as well give it a shot. And let's give him a jingle.
Starts with a wide down leg. And while it was a wide down leg, Dubini had gone a long way across his stumps, and that was only a whisker from leg stump. Slightly unlucky for Jasprit Bumrah. He's got 5 left. I wonder if they're how are India going to play this? They're going to bowl him through now. Or they're going to bowl him a couple now, then a few at the death. In comes Bumrah, right arm over, outside off stump, and pushed by JP Duminy on the bounce to Jadeja, who fields. There is no run, running in from backward point. So we've got Virat Kohli's putting himself in at slip, which is he's not the best slip fielder. Very good in the rest of the infield. Has dropped a few catches. We've got Jadeja at backward point. I think we've got Yuvraj at cover. Rohit Sharma at mid-off. Shikhar Dhawan in the sort of mid-wicket, mid-on region. This is clipped up to mid-on. Tumbling stop for the man at wide mid-on, but it's always going to be a single. It's Kedar Jadhav in there at mid-on. Mercifully, India haven't had to go to any of the part-timers. Kedar Jadhav with his filthy off-spin, Yuvraj with his rolling left-arm spin, and Virat Kohli with his indescribable filth. Yeah.
Virat bowled himself the other day. That was the same with Kane Williamson.
Kohli's is filthier.
True.
Jasprit Bumrah, he always just adjusts his shoulders and rolls up his sleeves a little bit at the start of his run-up. He's in. Full toss. Morris can't take advantage of it and just chunks it up to Kedar Jadhav at mid-off. There is no run. Bumrah bowling very full in the last stages of the innings, as his wont. Kohli deep in conversation with Dhoni behind the stumps. I can only assume the camera people are trying to pick out every single fielder in the Indian team between balls. In comes Jasprit Bumrah up to the cricket now and bowls. Short ball. Out. Morris has tried to pull this over the leg side. He's got a flying top edge. Easy catch for Bhuvi Kumar at Hardik Pandya, I think. Sorry, at mid wicket. Who's that? No, Rahane is on for somebody. I'm not sure who he's on for. Anyway, it was a short ball. Morris is a tall guy. He's never really going to be able to get out of the way of that one, and it was really cramped for room, top edge, and an easy catch for the man at mid wicket. Bumrah has his first wicket. The dangerous Chris Morris is gone for 4. South Africa 6 down.
It was not your fault but mine, and it was your heart on the line. I really fucked it up this time, didn't I, my dear? Didn't I, my dear?
Second time lucky it was Bhuvi Kumar at mid wicket. He took the catch. We couldn't quite manage to identify him because we didn't see his beautiful eyes.
Ravi Nair says at 5 down, England would have had Jaws and Moeen at the crease. Which pair would you prefer in the situation? Neetan Bajaj says Vaughan has called it England versus India in the final. I would love to see him proved wrong and see an India versus anyone else final. I'd love to see anything that makes him wrong.
Agreed.
Daft Penguin says, although having won the bloody cup, the BBC are too cheap to let us see the trophy presentation because triathlon. Boo. Jonah says, good captaincy or shit batting running. Shit batting running, honestly.
Shit batting running.
No captaincy, good or bad, can force a runner of that level of stupidity twice.
Yep. In and over.
Yep. Neetan Bajaj says Kohli is a right-armed Sohail Tanvir with no bowling talent.
he bowls off the wrong foot, and there the similarity ends.
And Ben Ingham says, it's an Indian captain thing. Dhoni loved a good bowl, too, even though it was beyond village at times.
Dhoni's a much better bowler than Kohli, I'm sorry. He actually looked like a proper bowler. This has brought the South African number 8 to the crease, and we have a new jingle.
We do, sent in by the wonderful Mog. I'll give it to you after this ball.
Boomerang in and clipped to mid-wicket by this man.
Nice.
Love it.
Quality, Mog. Quality.
Yep. I commissioned that from Mog, and he has delivered.
Nice.
Love it. In comes Jasprit Bumrah. Felakwe guides that one quite nicely, but Jadeja, continuing his audition for a Bollywood film, picks up the ball and...
It was Diminy. That's why it was... Yeah, it was. It was Diminy facing.
Oh, of course, they crossed. They crossed. The ball went a mile in the air before settling in the grateful hands of Bhuvi Kumar.
That was a hell of a pose, that catch.
Oh, yeah. Jadeja fielded at point and went into surfing bird.
Well, as is...
167 for 6 after 37.
As is Saffold on Facebook asked, could this be the first low-score thriller in CT 2017? I wouldn't have thought so, but, possibility is always there.
No, the Oval usually produces really low-scoring 50-over matches, so I was really surprised. It shouldn't, which is why I was surprised that they got India versus Bangladesh went over 300.
Certainly games that start early in the morning. The average score batting first is not as high as you'd think, given how good an outfield it is and how good a pitch it is. Although I think the domestic pitches are always a bit slower than the international pitches. Yeah. Every Indian bowler has taken a wicket so far, apart from Bhuvi Kumar, who has taken 5 overs and under 18. Pandya in bowling out, and this is pushed by Felakwe facing his first ball. Surely not another run out. Might have been close with a direct hit. They did stumble a little bit, but Felakwe made his ground at the non-striker's end. Taking on Jadeja's arm. Why do teams still do that? Felakwe off the mark with a single. Let's have a look at this.
Would have been mighty close.
I think he's gone with a direct hit.
It's difficult. Yeah, probably. Well, just would have been gone with a direct hit.
Yeah, Jadeja's throw was slightly loopy for his standards and slightly wide of the stump speed. Got the ball away very quickly outside off stump, and Duminy watches this one scuttle through to MS Dhoni, who takes in long barrier fashion. There is no run.
Andy and Brum says, Lions, Australia sent packing by England. England last-minute draw with the Scots. England rugby pornographic game. Now this. Best sporting weekend ever.
Yeah, bloody hell. Do you see the guy? I caught the last 10 minutes of the Argentina-England game yesterday.
No.
Argentina were a drop goal up with 3 minutes to go, and then some new boy, the team out there is unrecognisable.
Possibly a slow ball outside off stump, but certainly Duminy was through the shot way too early. It was indeed Hardik Pandya getting good use out of his off cutter, and it just dribbles to Jadeja at point. There is no run.
But England ended up running out winners 38-34.
Bloody hell.
In I can't remember where it was.
Are they playing in Buenos Aires?
No, it wasn't in Buenos Aires. It was in San Juan. Was that Argentina? They were in Argentina. It was one of the biggest cities in Argentina.
Okay.
Nice. It wasn't Buenos Aires.
We see a South African fan eating red meat in the crowd, of course.
Mm-hmm.
In comes Pandya. Duminy again mistimes a cut shot, again on the bounce to Jadeja. There is no run, again an off-cutter.
Every ball is an off-cutter, isn't it? It's all slow.
It's going to be length off-cutters or fast Yorkers from Pandya, I think, from here on out.
Well, his last 2 balls?
Yep.
Why don't you guys also go to the bloody off-licence and replace some beers out there, please?
I think the ICC camera directors are having some fun here, picking out disconsolate-looking South Africans.
And they're not thrilled about it either.
No, they're not. In comes Hardik Pandya again across Duminy, perhaps slightly quicker, and he managed to guide this one past the man to cover, but Shikhar Dhawan looking very, very cool out there on the boundary field. There is no run.
It was San Juan.
It was San Juan, yeah. Okay.
It's not the popular one that everybody knows. There's San Juan in Argentina.
Yeah.
Hardik Pandya has bowled pretty well today.
And you know why? Hardik Pandya's not in my fantasy team for the first time.
Yeah, well.
Did he drop him?
I did drop him.
big burly Felaquayo facing up to the last ball of Pandya Spell, 1 for 52, and this is pushed again to Ravi Jadeja, who's been doing nearly all of the fielding in this over. Pandya Spell ends with a dot ball, 1 for 52 off his 10. Well bowled, South Africa 169 for 6, 12 overs to go.
So will they go a bit of Ashwin at this end next? I'd give him a go at Felaquayo.
Yep. 2 left-handers at the crease.
Yep.
Dumini's nervy early on against spin.
Yep.
Jonah says, can we end up with an England versus India final?
Yes.
And they said, thought this would wind you up a little bit. Shane Warnes tweeted, congratulations on Richmond Park reappointment, buddy. You deserve the position and continue to do great things.
He's
well
tweeted
done.
Zach Goldsmith.
He has.
Oh, no.
You bloody arse-licking wanker.
Oh, God. If India win this, they'll top the group.
Yeah, and England top their group, so they won't meet in the semis. So it could be a replay of 2013. I hope the same result doesn't happen, obviously. Maybe the other way around will happen. India should walk it, and then they'll suddenly screw it up.
There was some fairly low-quality cricket from both sides in that game.
Yeah, but it was reduced to, what was it reduced to? 23 overs or something?
There was a lot of rain.
Yeah.
It is the Bears' bowling change. And Dumini's gone back to cut. He's got a horrible toe end. It's looped through where second slip would have been. There is a first slip, of course, but no second slip. And Dumini picks up a streaky one of these. We'll try and give you the bowler's jingle. I'd like to say, in the green room, I caught him coming on before the over where the 2 run-outs happened, and you've just caught him now. We've watched a lot of cricket. We know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Round the wicket, quite wide on the crease, very slow from Ashwin, and driven to JP Dumini. Did they scuttle through for a single there?
I don't know.
Jadeja was very quick in the slide. No, Dumini sent Felaquayo back, I think, wisely.
I'll give him a jingle.
There's an Indian bowler fairly new to the...
In comes Ashwin, tosses this one up again. Dumini forward, drives with no power, but neared off his back, and it's an easy single.
As long as his name. Oh, Ravi Chandran Ashwin. Ashwin turns to the left. Ashwin turns. Straight on. Oh, Ashwin. Ravi Chandran Ashwin.
Furrowed brow from Dumini at the non-striker's end as Felaquayo tries to make some room for himself, but Ashwin just got one to drift into him. He's bowling very slow in this over so far, really trying to tempt them through the offside. It was pushed back to him. There is no run. He's at the top of his mark again. This one turns on Felaquayo. Does well to just defend into the offside, but India really are putting the strangle on. Ashwin is trying to tempt Felaquayo and Dumini to come forward and drive him down the ground and do something adventurous. There is the slip in case one turns. Last ball of the 39th over is pushed firmly by Felaquayo, but there is a man at long off. It's Rohit Sharma. It's just a single. 6 runs off the 39th over. South Africa are 172 for 6.
Evil Scootus has retweeted a tweet from Sad Faruqa, who says, we did it better. He's a Pakistani supporter, and he has got a photo of the run-outs, and then he's got a photo of it happening also in a Pakistan match.
That is almost certainly Mohammad Hafiz and Azhar Ali. Those two run each other out all the time.
Mohog says, South Africa A seemed to be going okay against Hampshire, if that's worth anything. Pete yet to take a wicket, though. And Jeff Perkins says, if Pete does take a wicket, does his jingle get played? Not when you're in Hampshire, son. Not when you're in Hampshire.
175 for 6, apologies, after 39 overs. JP Dumini, 17 not out off 30 balls. He hasn't really had a chance to do anything adventurous. And Felaquayo was 2 not out off 5. We have a change of bowling. One opening bowler replaced by the other.
He got sent over from north, a better bat than we thought. He got booby Kuma's eyes.
And what lovely eyes they are. In comes Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, right arm over to left-handed Felaquayo, who carves this one through the offside. There is a man out there. It's too cool for school. Shikhar Dhawan out there on the cover boundary, and it's just a single.
We had a message from Imran Khan. I don't know if it's that Imran Khan, but hello. He says, who is this? It's Gorilla Cricket. That's who it is. And Hilton Checks is a long-time listener, first-time watcher.
Welcome, Hilton. Imran Khan, not that Imran Khan. Not him either.
Nick Nelson says, warms my heart to hear such great comms and American accent. 100 miles on already today. Thank you very much. Safe driving.
Yeah, are you in the second day of your road trip, Nick?
I believe he is.
In comes Bhuvi Kumar to JP Duminy, who on the back foot just guides this one down to third man. It's singles and not a lot else for South Africa at the moment, 177 for 6. We'll have a 3-person change at the end of this over. It'll be Chris, David, and is Ben coming back in, or Hendo?
Ben.
Okay, Hendo's decided to do absolutely no work today after the first 10 overs.
Yeah.
The young blokes.
Shekhar Dhawan's now gone to a goatee, and he can almost pull it off, which is a neat trick. This one angles back into Felakwayo, who on the back foot gets a thick inside edge out to mid-wicket. There is no run. We're seeing these comedy run. No, we're seeing India good ground fielding today. They were hopeless against Pakistan.
Yeah,
with the
they
ground
were.
fielding.
They're poor.
But they're really on it today, right from the start. Kohli setting the tone with a couple of good sliding stops from mid-wicket. We're seeing the run-outs again. Pandya's a very simple one, and the absolutely ridiculous one at the other end. Even the throw into Kohli from Bumrah to affect the second run-out was terrible. Back of a length, and Felakwayo stuck in the crease, pushes back to Bhuvi. There is no run. Yeah, really almost nothing went right at all during the second run at the one that saw Chris Morris beaten to the wrong end by Faf du Plessis.
Save the Newt says, good afternoon, long-time listener, long-time tweeter here, long enough to know this is a typical South African performance.
In comes Bhuvi Kumar, outside off stump and driven firmly by Felakwayo, but on the bounce to Kedar Jadhav, there is no run. India keeping the field up, keeping the short mid-wicket and the short cover in.
Squash XL says, if you double South Africa's score right now, they'd be on 352. Mogg says, it's been a while since we last heard the Dane Pete jingle. And Ian Bajaj says, Zach says the pitch is not great. 260 will be a tricky chase.
Zahir Khan. I wonder if he's doing some commentary somewhere. Last ball of the 40th over, last ball of my spell. Is outside off stump and driven nicely by Felakwayo. Beats Kedar Jadhav, but again, Shekhar Dhawan just lopes around, flings the ball back in. Just the 3 runs off Bhuvi's 6 over. He's gone for 21 off his 6. After 40, South Africa 178 for 6. All change.
We're going to have the tune for a changeover is in honour of our listener. He could be
Imran Khan. Not that Imran Khan. Imran Khan. No, not him either. Imran Khan. Not that Imran Khan. Yeah, that's the geezer.
Hello, everybody. Have we flicked over into afternoon yet? Is it good afternoon from us?
It is. It's 1:16.
I think it is good afternoon from us. Good
afternoon, everyone.
It's me, that Chris 1209. To my left is Ben.
Hello.
And to my right...
Hello, you got at David Franklin 88. How are you, everybody?
There we go.
Shameless self-promotion.
Everybody introduce themselves by their Twitter handles as God intended. South Africa, certainly since you and I last went off air, Ben, they've bolstered this up a bit.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that this hasn't been the greatest hour or two for South Africa. They've been determined. It's a bit twitchy in terms of suggesting that they have choked it, as they say. But,
yeah, so Bumrah comes in, first ball right arm over the wicket, hits Felakwayo, I'm told.
Yeah, we're going with Felakwayo.
Close to in front. There's a big appeal. Virat Kohli's asking whether or not they fancy reviewing it.
I think this is pretty indulgent. I don't
think it's going to happen. I don't know. They are reviewing it because it's the last 10 overs.
It's a vanity review, I think.
We've got Wicket Reviews in their own little folder in Wicket Reviews. I'm assuming that is what that motion meant.
I have a little tootle and a scroll, and
That was definitely out. Was that definitely out? I don't know.
Right, well, it's not a no ball from Jasprit Bumrah. It is... Oh, actually, that is absolutely plumb. It's hit him in line on the back leg. He's not got a touch on it, and that is cannoning into the bottom of middle leg.
That is the most out any LBW has ever been.
Yes.
While we're waiting for the inevitable finger of death, we will go with Dr. Kirkett has come in saying it still seems strange that England have leapfrogged every other team in ODIs as shown by Morgan and Stokes yesterday.
Yeah, well, I think it was a very, very clear turnaround after the 2015 World Cup. You can see it almost instantly when New Zealand came over.
400 not out in the first game back, wasn't it?
Exactly. It was just this absolutely incredible immediate turnaround, and we see Hawkeye. It is impact in line and wickets literally hitting the bottom of middle and leg. So that is dead.
It's going to be given out in a set, and I'm just going to play the jingle.
Get out right
and South Africa fall to 178 for 7. JP Dumini, the only man surviving on that. 18 from 31 as Felashwayo. And I'm so glad I didn't have to try and pronounce that for more than
Yeah,
one
you've
ball.
saved yourself a nice bit of bother.
Goes LBW to Jasprit Bumrah for 4 off 11.
And to give South Africa some credit, if you are going to fall apart like this, you best do it in a comedy manner.